Welcome back to the sweatshop. In today's video, we're going to be working on this 2013 Dodge Grand Caravan. What we're going to be doing in today's video is we're going to be swapping out this ABS sensor on the right side rear wheel. This guy here is the same for left and right, so if you're swapping out the left side, it is exactly the same process. It is not a hard job, can be a little bit tedious depending upon how things come apart, mainly that 5mm Allen that holds the sensor in. Generally, you don't have to move all kinds of stuff in order to get to the sensor. However, Chrysler in his infinite wisdom has made the connector end really easy to access and the business end of the sensor really difficult to access because we got to pull apart our braking system. So yeah, be prepared for that. You're gonna have to get this thing up on a hoist or on jack stands in order to do this job without giving yourself a wheelchair permit. Don't be stupid. If you are gonna get underneath the car, make sure you use jack stands. That being said, definitely something you can do. Just make sure you watch the full length of video before you attempt doing it so you know what you're in for. Of course, before we get started with today's video, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you never miss one of my new videos. As for the sensor, this guy here is a nice Chinesium made one. Seemed to be a pretty decent quality. They actually sent me the bolt, which is quite nice. The Mopar one's quite expensive. ABS sensors, not something usually that most manufacturers or anybody who makes them screws up. So just get one that's a familiar brand name or someone who, or get it from a trusted source. This thing comes with a 2-year warranty. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And it comes from one of my good suppliers there. So my buddy Sean, yeah, not his company, of course, because Lord knows, you know, if he would be running the company, it probably wouldn't exist. Whatever. Anyhow, the point is, he's a great guy. Anyhow, get a decent sensor because you definitely don't want to be doing this again. They also gave us some nice grease in there. Yeah, let's go ahead now. We'll put this thing up and I'll show you what we're looking at. We'll go ahead and disconnect the sensor. Wait, before we disconnect it, I'm going to show you what sign came up on our dashboard. So yeah, you know what's up with that. With the vehicle started, you can see there we have got 3 lights on the dashboard. We got the ABS light and we have the traction control light, which is this ugly little squiggly guy up in the corner. Those guys are interlinked. This guy is our problem. That little sensor is the issue. The code that we have is this guy here, in case you are wondering, right rear wheel sensor circuit. And I'll show you exactly what the issue was. It was quite the easy diagnosis. Somebody tried fixing it with a little duct tape, which, well, it doesn't work. You can cut the wires and solder them and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to, just because it's not usually a long-term repair unless you do it properly. Most people don't, and the customer wants a brand new sensor. So not impossible to solder and cut wires, but it's just with all the elements that this thing's going to be exposed to, just not a good long-term repair. Now, that ugly little guy is your tire pressure monitoring system. Well, that's another one we're going to be taking care of in another video, hopefully, if I get time. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so we have basically a wonderful connector that comes out of this harness here. And if you trace it back, this guy's the one that goes to the right side. They do a pretty good job of putting this wonderful connector in an accessible place. That can't be said for many a manufacturer out there. Most of these guys usually hide this thing, especially the Japanese, in the body. And then you got to pull some stupid interior clips or panels to get it. So I quite like this by Chrysler. What you're going to do is pull this safety tip or clip back here. You know, come on, guy. Don't act like that. You know, pull this fucker back, but it's gonna stab me in the finger. Anyhow, let me get around to the side here. Can you see it there on camera? Yeah, so basically, you have to wiggle this red plastico back here. Push it from the back. Oof. Maybe wear some eye protection, because this guy's gonna poop on your face all over, eh? And you're gonna, oh, come on, guy. Just fucking let her go there, fella. All right. Oh my God. Alright, there we go. Oh, damn it. Did I hit this fucking camera and not catch it on... Anyhow, whatever. You're going to pull this red clip back, and then once you get it back about yay much, you're going to be able to push this black portion of it down, and you can also get a flat screwdriver in the front end to make sure that this fella will unseat. Now, what you want to do is look in there to make sure there is no green stuff. If there is no green stuff, you are good to go. Then you can start pulling this guy off. Now you gotta get an 8mm and I gotta reposition the camera. Okay, now we're gonna fire off these two guys here, because currently that's all I can really see. And we're gonna fire off this one because big washers are our friend. Okay, we're gonna fix that with a big washer and just either pull this guy out or set it to the side, one or the other. Oh, looks like it wasn't even connected to anything up there, so you might not have to pull that guy out, but getting in the new sensor will be a real pain in the ass. Now in this section here, we got a bunch of jingle jangle that's going on. So what I would advise is to make sure you take a picture, okay? Anyhow, start yanking stuff out, or, you know, make sure you memorize it somehow if you don't take a picture. Get a clip remover for this guy here, eh? Because it looks like a real pain in his ass. Let's get this guy out here, you know? Now, Chrysler could have really saved the customer some good money here if they just would have put it in a place where it is accessible. Of course they didn't, because fuck the customer is usually the Dodge attitude. Now, this here is our problem. I don't understand what happened or who tried this janky ass repair. This is not a good repair. And this generally is what happens, okay? Over time, you will get corrosion that will set the code, okay? And obviously you can see there, it is nice and corroded. So if you really want to try and fix it, you can, but I don't know how long or how much corrosion is there. I would definitely recommend just replacing it, because the cost of the sensor, although expensive, will save you later on down the road if you have to keep revisiting this repair. This is not a bad repair, provided they would have put some, some more sheathing and something better than duct tape, maybe some liquid tape. But as this thing flexes and with the heat and exposure, it's going to eventually break. And that tape will come away, and then you end up with it. There's nothing like an insulator, so I would suggest just replacing it. And realistically, if you look around online, you could probably find one of these sensors at a really cheap price. Of course, I would not suggest getting the cheapest thing. Now, for the fun part. So, as you can see, we've spent about, 5 to 10 minutes just pulling the sensor off, and that's with me talking. So you could probably yank the stupid thing out of there in about 2 to 5 minutes. But right here, friends, is the problem. That is my index finger. I'm a normal sized man and don't have ginormous fingers. As you can tell here, there is not much room to get that 5mm Allen out. I have a 5mm Allen. So I'm going to try and get in there with one of my swivel sockets and pray to God that that works for me. If it doesn't, you will have to pull off the wheel, the caliper, as well as the rotor in order to access that 5mm bolt. It's a pain in the ass. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off the wheel so I can get my fat hand in here, and we'll go from there. I'm pretty sure we're going to end up taking that guy off. I think it's a 5mm. Well, at one point it might have been a 5mm. Anyhow, let me get the socket in there and see what happens. Okay, yeah, so we're going to be doing it the hard way, because I don't think there's any way. Maybe with an Allen wrench you might be able to sneak that guy out, but the last thing you want to do is screw it up in the rust belt. This is the smallest swivel socket that I have, and this is purpose built for getting it tight places. It is a snap-on, so Lord knows that you guys aren't going to have it at home, because, well, these things are stupidly expensive. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and fire off the wheel. We'll do it the conventional way, because I don't see a way that I can do it any other way. Go ahead, grab a 19mm and fire off the wheel. Chrysler idiots. They put these stupid caps on and the bolt rust underneath. Real headache if you run into that at home. Hopefully you don't. Might have to change some of these lug nuts out, I think. Oh my God! That guy is one mammoth, so be careful. Now you're gonna go ahead, grab a flat screwdriver, and you're just gonna sneak it by here and slowly pry the caliper just a bit. Okay, you're trying to take a bit of the slack away, nothing else. Do not go animalistic on it. Your handbrake is right here, and if you ruin the caliper, you're not gonna be happy. Get yourself an 18mm flex if you have one. If not, a straight socket will do. And then you're gonna get in here and fire off these bolts. Why are you not working now, guy? I swear to God, this fucking thing. I don't know what it is, but this DeWalt gun or this fucking battery is just trash. Like sometimes it works and other times it doesn't do shit, man. It's just fucking irritating. Honestly, Milwaukee's looking like the way right now. DeWalt, you motherfuckers better do some shit, you know? Anyhow, okay. Hammer! If yours don't come off like that and you're wondering why mine's did, it's because, well, I anti-seize these guys and I also torque it to the correct torque spec. Now you can go ahead, get a bungee cord and just hook this guy up somewhere and pull this whole caliper off. Oh, get the fuck, get off, bitch! Get your ass off, motherfucker. All right, that guy's there. Just make sure it's not hanging by the emergency brake there or the brake holes, because that's never good. Okay, and just tie that guy up there somewhere. All right, there we go. Now go ahead, pull your rotor off, and that will of course show you your wonderful ABS sensor, that ugly thing right there. I want to talk to you guys out there who are DIYers. Do you see how nice this hub looks? You know why it looks like that? Because I anti-seize this shit. About 2 years ago, I think I did the brakes on this thing. And well, you can see how well the components come apart. This is something you can have too if you watch my videos and actually do the stuff that I say. You can see the anti-seize there. We'll be applying a bit more again, just to make sure this shit doesn't make us cry the next time we have to touch it. Okay, now, I know it just looks like a clump of rust, but it is, I think, supposed to be a 5mm Allen. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna get a ball Allen and try to wiggle it in there just to go ahead and get the thing, you know, kind of loosened up. Now, I don't know why they came up with such a stupid design, but it is Chrysler, so it's expected, eh? Okay, we're gonna have to reposition the camera because obviously you can see there I just smashed it. Okay, let's try that again. So you get your 5mm Allen, line her up and do the tap, tap, tap. Now, these guys aren't held in by very much, but you know what? Let's give her a whirl, see if she'll go. 3/8 Armstrong, a wonderful company that is no longer Armstrong. Yeah, made wonderful ratchets, and unfortunately, they got bought out. Let's see if this goes, guys. Come on now. Oh, shit! She went. Very lucky there. Now, if yours doesn't look like she's gonna go, what you're gonna do is basically smash on an Allen that will fit in this little area here and pray to God it comes out, because if it doesn't, you're gonna end up having to do all kinds of shit to get this guy loose. Now, you're gonna go ahead and grab this guy here like a show and just see if she'll wiggle. She is not. Now, this is crucial because if we can't get this guy to go, get him to come out, we're gonna end up replacing this whole bearing, which will really suck. Oh boy. Yeah, looks like our problems are about to begin. Let's get a pry bar and let's get the tap. Try the flat screwdriver first. Should give her the chance there, guy. All right. It's a lot easier when you don't have a camera in the way. Yeah, you can see there we're in for a bit of struggles here. Hopefully it's not too bad. Oh, she's moving. She's moving. Yeah, baby. Now, what are the most common issues for ABS sensors? The most common, to be honest, is this internally failing. What causes that failure internally usually is either contact with the ABS ring or rust. Rust can crush the element or the pickup inside, basically the piece that does the business and tells the computer that there's something going on. It can crush it, and that will cause the code to trigger. And then the least common is usually wiring being cut or corroded. In this case, that's what we have, but it's not as common. Come on, baby. Do the wiggle wiggle. Get your ass out of there. Get out of there, man. Come on, fella. Get your ass out of there, motherfucker. So it's nice when you get it wiggling. Okay, what we're gonna do now is try to get in there with the handy dandy vice grips and give her the old twister-rooney, because the looser you get it, the higher the chance of getting it out. Okay. That guy ain't doing shit, guy. He ain't doing anything, man. Clamp it, fucker, come on. Oh, yeah, I got her to go a little bit there, but, you know. Now you don't want to spray anything because I'm not sure what the cavity's like on the Caravan, and you don't want any dust being carried down by any sort of WD inside there. So, because you're basically going to be taking rust, which is magnetic still, and you're going to be putting it on your reluctor ring. Bad idea. You don't want that shit. Okay, let's get in here again. It's a very awkward position because my fat head is basically being pushed over by my camera because I want to be able to record this for you guys at home, but we might have to move it soon. Okay. So basically what you want to do is basically work it back and forth like so. If you keep getting it back and forth like this, it'll get looser and looser, and you should be able to get it to come out. Okay. So that is basically the process. I'm gonna move the camera now because it's upsetting me. I'll be back. All right, so good, I don't know, half an hour later, I guess about 20 minutes now, we've got the stupid thing out. Pain in the ass, let me tell you. Tried heating it a bit, tried doing a whole bunch of stuff, none of that shit worked. I will show you on the bench what worked. As far as this end is concerned, before you put your new sensor in, what you want to do is get a little scraper tool or carbide bit that will fit in the hole. Grind her up, be very gentle. Okay, you don't want any of that shit going into your bearing area. Once you have slowly carved away at the rust, you're gonna get a vacuum and you're gonna suck all that crap out of there. Then once you suck all the crap out of there, you can put a little bit of grease in there. Of course, before you put the grease, take a flat screwdriver with a paper towel or microfiber cloth and wipe it out inside there. Then you can apply a little bit of grease. Now, I'm going to douse our wonderful sensor in grease as well, and we'll shove that thing back into the hole. Let's go ahead now and take a look at our sensor. What you want to do when comparing your sensor is, first off, hold it at the one end, and you're going to get your new sensor side by side. You want to make sure that everything lines up. So you should be looking at the connector, make sure they are the same, make sure all these little rubber grommets are in the same place. You can see there, so far things are looking nice. We even got a nice new connector, great connectors again. Oh, there's our first problem. We're missing one guy here on the old guy. Okay, so that might have been where our shit went south, but all the rest of it is there. Looks like our new sensor is actually a little bit longer, which would probably explain this guy missing. Anyhow, looks like our wonderful sensor is good. Put this guy back into the nice protected hole, because see there, right there, it touched my rotor and picked up some scudge. We don't want that, so I'm gonna go microfiber wipe that mother off and then put it back in the bag for safekeeping. Get that guy off. All right. Shove this end in the bag. You want to make sure it doesn't pick up any metal. Now, for this guy here, what we did was, well, as you remember, it had a tab on this side, and it should have a pointy end on this side. Of course, both of those things have disappeared from the equation because of, well, Chrysler and rust. What to do? Basically, that end broke off as I was trying to pry it. I continued to twist it back and forth for a good while. That got this end free. However, it wouldn't come off. We tried heating it up a bit. As you can see there, the heat gave it, well, it gave it a new look, but it didn't solve the problem. Nonetheless, this guy did come out. I took a 1/8 drill bit and snuck it in. You'd imagine this is the bearing and our shield is here. Drilled it in and then stuck the screw in with a screwdriver. Then what I did was get a vice grip like so, clamp it down so that this head of the screw fell in between the teeth like so. And then what we did was get our pry bar, only an 18-inch pry bar. We got that guy in there and forced her out, which thankfully it came out. Now, if it didn't come out, we would have ended up replacing the bearing, and you don't want to do that. Headache, okay? Now, of course, if by some grace of God we were able to get that stupid thing out without taking off all the braking components, well, you'd end up taking them all off anyhow just to get the stupid sensor out because, well, it was stuck in there. Also, we had a few plastic boogerinos that were still stuck in there. You want to make sure you clear all that stuff out. Do not let it hang around inside there. It will get inside of your ABS ring and between the sensor, and it will screw things up. That being said, let's go ahead and now lube up the sensor and put it back in this car. Okay, wipe all this dust off. God, this ABS sensor is a pain in my ass, man. It's putting shit everywhere. Oh, look, we got some on my nice fucking job there. All right, get rid of this shit. All right. Well, you know what? Now that we're here, we don't necessarily need to do just the side there for the hub. We'll just do it here because it's easier. And plaster some of this stuff here. Oh yeah, baby. Give it a nice new layer of that wonderfulness we call the anti-seize. Okay, you're gonna do it around there too. you know what? There's a bit of dust there. We'll do that on the car side. Let's get some in the hole here so she never seizes on. Oh, yeah. The anti-seize is your friend the majority of the time. So, yeah. All right. Make sure you get no bristles in there and you'll be good to go. Okay, now before you go ahead and sneak in your sensor, lubricate the hell out of this section. You don't want anything on this end. If it's grease, fine, but you know, try not to get any dirt on it. Reason being is because you want to make sure you don't touch anything on the way to this hole. Another thing you want to be careful with is if there is excessive rust in this area here, that can also alter the height. You don't want to grind in that area because all that shit is going to go into the hole. What you want to do is just chip it off if need be. Oh, I see a clump there. Anyhow, you want to chip it off if need be. I might have to do that, but do not grind in that area. Okay, all we are concerned about in this area is getting this guy through this hole without any hindrance and picking up of any rust. So double check, you're good to go there. And now slide it into the hole, okay? Because any particles of rust that fall into that area, that just means a headache. A pain in your ass, essentially. Okay, now let's get our Allen. Now, as you can see there is Loctite on the factory or the bolt that they provided. What I do is I put anti-seize or grease up around the collar here so that shit never rots, and then just thread it in by hand. Okay, and then you can run it up with your ratchet. Okay, I'll just snug it up. What you want to do is verify that you have the right sensor by turning it, making sure there's no hindrance. Because if there is any sort of hindrance, something's wrong, and you're probably going to have a big pain in your ass. Grab your torque wrench, set it to 4.5 foot-pounds or 6 Newton meters. This guy only goes to 5 foot-pounds as it's low, so yeah, ain't going to kill anything. Set it in there, turn it back on, that's also helpful, and torque away. All right, wonderfully. Now we can begin the process of running that wonderful wire. Go ahead, put your rotor back in place. Make sure you add some nice new anti-seize. Yeah, look at that, all happy. Wonderfully. Don't forget this guy here. Slide that guy in. Now let's get our brakes done. Place this guy back together. Unhook your wonderful bungee cord that somehow looks like it's soaked in oil. Jeez, what the fuck happened there? Oh yeah, get that fucker out of there. You know, bungee cords can be a real pain in your ass sometimes, and other times they can really help you. I don't know, whatever. Get rid of that shit. Make sure these guys aren't falling out. And by these guys, I mean your pads. All right, and then wiggle them back into place like a shovel. All right. God, that wasn't that hard. Swear to God. Make sure when you're threading these guys in, you put them in the right place. That stupid ugly thing goes on the bottom. Always thread these bolts up by hand, never with a gun. That just never ends well. Someone's doing their brakes out there. That fella's been grinding for a while, man. Anyhow, get that top bolt. Goes without saying, if you watched my videos in the past, make sure you anti-seize, because it'll clear off the crud if you dropped it. Anti-seize is your friend. All right, guy. All right, come on, fella. All right, send this thing up. Go ahead, grab your 18 mil flex, and this is very tough when you're doing this. But YouTube, this is what I do for you guys at home. All right, put that bracket in properly and a fire, okay? Get your torque wrench, set it to 75 foot-pounds or 100 Newton meters. Okay. All right. Wonderfully. Okay, now with your ABS sensor, there's that guard there so you can leave it over top. What you're gonna do is simply clip this guy in like so. If any of these are a bit hard to get in there, what you wanna do is spray a little bit of WD-40 on them because lubricant is your friend. Okay, and then you're gonna push that guy in to the bracket there. Then you're gonna push this guy in here. Oh yeah, she's a moving real good, baby. And then that guy off in the distance. We're looking real good. Now for the hard part, going ahead and remembering what you did. Move this guy on top here like so. There should be a connector, I think, here, but I don't see one. Yeah, no, Chrysler was cheap. They didn't put one in. They didn't give a shit about this side. You're gonna clip this guy like so that it hangs out up top here. Pushes this guy up a bit. And then you can clip in your connectorino like so. Oh, she don't want to go. Why she want to go? I'll tell you why she want to go. Because she's a motherfucking bitch. Oh, we gotta get some WD-40 on that guy there, guy. Alright. Get that lubricant in there. Push it. Push it real good. Oh, can I even see the connector? You guys can't even see it there. Fuck. That whole shit was fucking useless. Go ahead, lubricate the connector just a bit, and then push it. Push it in. You might not hear it click because it didn't fucking clip, guy. What's the deal here? Why aren't you clipping, guy? What's your fucking deal? Seems like it's bottoming out. Let's give it a little bit of support there from the back end. Yeah, there we go. So we just gotta fucking give her a little bit of support. All right, and there we go. I can't yank the fucking thing apart, so that's good to go. Now, let's go ahead and put in that stupid heat shield. Now, in case you're wondering, the heat shield is integral because the wire is on the goddamn exhaust here and it will melt. Do not get rid of that. Make sure you have a heat shield. If you don't, zip tie this guy. Make sure it's not touching the exhaust and, you know, you'll be okay. But I would suggest getting the wonderful exhaust shield. I'm going to go find a washer so I can put this thing in. All right, so if you got a really big hole, a washer is going to be your friend, but this guy is not flat, so just pound it flat. Of course, we're talking about the hole that's nice and enlarged. Then you're going to slide this god-awful ugly thing back into place. Hey, get the fuck... There we go. All right. Wonderfully, baby. Come on, guy. Just swap them right, okay? We're going to put it on our washer here. Get our 8-0 and shove her home. Don't ask me for a torque spec. Just don't fuck it up, all right? All right, so like a show to go there. Oh, baby, get in there. The fuck? Oh, don't fall. Oh, come on, guy. Killing me out here, man. Can't find a goddamn hole up in this motherfucker. Oh, come on! Where the fuck is the hole? Okay, there we go. Now we know that our wire is nice and protected. There's no strain on this side. Make sure everything is all well. We are good to go. All we got to do now is turn on our ignition, start this thing up, and see if there are any more codes. But before we do that, let's put that stupid wheel back on. Whenever putting your wheel back on the car, make sure you thread your bolts or your lugs up by hand. You never want to do these guys with a impact wrench or something. Just bad. Because if you cross thread stuff, usually just means you're going to have a headache. And fuck, I live in Canada. I have enough headaches already, so yeah, force your wheel into the hub. Oh, yeah, we're going to have to get some luggy nuts for this piece of junk soon. Anyhow, that guy's got to have, I think 3 of them have to go, really. Anyhow, go ahead, grab your torque wrench, set it to 100 foot-pounds or 135 newton meters. Well, that one's fucked. Anyhow, let's go around and torque this one. We'll end up replacing these lug nuts tomorrow, because I can't get them today, so wonderfully. Yeah, that's a garbage show. Okay, wonderful. Well, I just started up the vehicle, and as you can see, the only code that we have currently is just a TPMS and the one oil change message, but we're gonna still go ahead and clear our wonderful code from our Dodge. So we're gonna go system selection, anti-lock braking. Let's go down here to the scanner so you guys can see what the hell I'm talking about. And we're gonna go to read code, should be historic. There we go, or saved, same thing. We're gonna go back here, we're gonna delete this mother sucker. Clear DTC, baby. Clear all DTCs, yes ha. Yes ha. Okay, now we go to read. No DTC found, very good. You won't need to clear it if you don't have a scan tool that's in depth enough, it's fine, it will clear on its own. God, I hope you guys can hear that chirp. That's gonna be one of the videos. We're changing out the belt and the tensioner. Stupid thing. Of course, all that's left to do now is to take this thing for a test drive, make sure all is well with your ABS system, make sure your traction is functioning, and you are good to go. Hopefully you found the video entertaining as well as insightful. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss one of my new videos. And as always, thanks for watching. We will see you in the next one. All right, we're real set, baby. And they do a pretty good job of putting this connector in an accessible... That is my clip remover. Clip remover. Get your ass off, motherfucker. Alright. Yeah, guy. Now, I want to talk to you guys out there who are DIYers. Where my ball Allen at? Where my ball Allen at? Let's get the tap. And what causes that generally is either percussion or the contact with the what do you call that? Reluctor ring, or what the fuck's the name for it again? As far as this end is concerned, what you want to do is get a little carbide or some sort of scaper like so. Focus, you fuck. We have some dirt there. You don't want anything on this engine. Oh, for fuck's sake, someone's grinding out there. Give me a second there, guys. Get the fuck. Fuck, how did you get lodged into the fucking caliper bracket, guy? How the... Oh, fuck off! Settle down, camera. Go ahead, grab your 18 mil flexi and... Oh, fucking camera, you're always in the way, you fuck. Oh my god, this guy loves having a fucking seizure. Seizure. Oh my god. Anyhow. Give back my fucking socket and shit, bitch. Settle down, camera. You're all hyper and shit there, fella. Where's the WD, guy? How? Where you at? Look at all that fucking baked on dirt there. Anyhow. Alright. Go ahead. Just hammer this stupid thing flat if it's nice and worn away like... Whoa, what the fuck happened there, guy? You're doing that weird shit again. Fucking camera. Whenever you're putting your... Whenever you're putting... What the fuck is that, guy? Well, all that's left to do now is to take this thing for a test drive and make sure all is well with our Caravan and its ABS system. Of course, why are you drifting over now, you fucking piece of shit? God, this fucking thing is such a pain in the dick sometimes. Of course.